Since the events of May 1st, 2007, each of you has worked hard to rebuild our crowd management capabilities and to move past the events of last year, which I appreciate and for which I commend you. In this address, I want to discuss what we, the department, have done and learned since that day. An episode as significant as May Day 2007 does not occur without our learning from it and using it, creating new best practices for ourselves and raising the bar for our peers. And that is exactly what we are doing. Immediately after the incident, a historically comprehensive review was conducted on the events of May Day. What we learned was that, despite the obvious, most of that day went smoothly, and our operations were conducted properly. As the march and rally at MacArthur Park went on, however, a small number of fractures led to failures at important junctures, which resulted in our inappropriate crowd management and crowd control. The review included an in-depth analysis of points of failure and what happened on that day. The contents of this report were published and presented to the Police Commission and to the department. We're brutally honest and self-critical in the report. One of the principal recommendations made by the report was the creation of the new Incident Management and Training Bureau, IMTB, led by Deputy Chief Mike Hillman. IMTB was responsible for developing and coordinating a set of universal and highly refined critical incident management strategies, tactics, and training for the department to employ for the present and the future. IMTB then began conducting 21st century mobile field forces doctrine training beginning on July 10, 2007. Conducted by Metropolitan Division for each area on site at the Joint Forces Training Base in Los Alamitos, these training sessions feature both classroom instruction and practical application in the field. By the end of this month, every uniform officer of this department will have attended this training, along with some 300 members of other departments, including General Services and Los Angeles Unified School District, and even some members of the media. In addition to these training sessions, IMTB also conducted 4-hour training sessions for every member of our command staff. Another recommendation was the establishment of incident management teams. The team concept uses select individuals with specific skill sets and interests to be incident managers. With a total of 27 members, 3 commanders, and 24 captains, these teams have proven to be very effective. The benefit of the team approach is uniform, consistent incident management knowledge among the members, which will deliver uniform, consistent results every time. With an incident management team at the helm, large-scale events in Los Angeles will be policed the same way every time. No matter which team is managing it, no matter what the event is, our incident management teams have overseen multiple events, including the recent Oscar and Grammy ceremonies. A particular pride for us, the pre-Super Tuesday Democratic Party debate held at the Kodak Theater was a significant success for the department, with 2 national-level political dignitaries and hundreds of high-profile individuals in attendance. The possibilities and implications were numerous. We structured this event with an incident management team in place, and we unified command with our colleagues from the FBI, Secret Service, and LAPD, who are all present. We created one singular incident management plan that included all these agencies, with each participating equally in the planning. Cooperation and preparedness at this level is a first for this combination of agencies, and it showed in the execution. This represents major strides in a short period of time, from May 2007. Eventually, in future phases, all captains and above will be trained to become members of these teams. The next phase for IMTB is the unifying of planning methods among the areas and bureaus. There must be seamless, singular incident management planning and continuity of understanding of incident management planning for events. A strict, universal, uniform standard has been created, and all incident managers must apply these methods the same way. Our city is growing, and in the near future, we will have entertainment mega complexes like LA Live, where large concentrations of people will gather for events, conventions, concerts, and movies. Incident management is essential now, and will be even more so in the future. The timing for our reform has been fortuitous. Since the incident at MacArthur Park, the department has been examining our protocols with respect to the media and looking at how best to work with them. We have met with members of the media to discuss changes the department should consider making with regards to policing public demonstrations and protecting the First Amendment rights of the media. We have opened the lines of communication on issues such as media access at crime scenes, media credentialing, and ways to improve our overall relationship. We now include the media in our event planning process so they are involved and have a vested interest in proper incident management. These steps have shown the media that we are being collaborative and seeking input, which was not necessarily a priority in past eras of the department. As I've stated before, we must have a positive working relationship with the media. This relationship is an ongoing responsibility and a work in progress. We must care for it regularly. May Day 2008 is going to be executed proficiently and professionally and will provide a venue for the department to demonstrate to the community and our critics how far we've come in a year. Chief Hillman, who will serve as the incident commander, began planning in February, and his efforts have entailed communicating and forging relationships with community groups and event planners, as well as the media. The event will be managed solely on principles from the 21st Century Media Field Force Training Doctrine, which states that it is our responsibility to facilitate First Amendment rights and to manage crowds at meetings, marches, and rallies. Unlawful activities will not be tolerated, obviously, and we will take the necessary enforcement action, including surgically making arrests when needed to protect lawful activities in progress. This time around, and going forward, will involve the community in supporting our responsibility to help them exercise their rights while keeping the peace and maintaining public order. We'll also facilitate the media, enabling them to get what they need for their reporting duties. You will see some of our more visible improvements as well. Public information officers will be wearing LAPD PIO branded vests, and officers wearing helmets will feature the new fabric helmet covers, both of which will make all department personnel more individually identifiable. You'll also see our 4 new critical incident utility vehicles, which feature digital signage and speaker systems that broadcast messages audibly up to a quarter of a mile away. Most importantly, what you will see is an event managed professionally and effectively, and in such a way that the community, our peers, and all other interested parties will see a marked change from a year ago. Our standards and practices in the area of incident management are changing. The best practices standards for us and for our profession. Every one of us has been recently trained and is now on the same page in terms of how we handle major events. We'll be better able to serve the public and enhance our professional image and reputation. We have also used this opportunity to improve our points of contact and relationships with the city's large and diverse populations and the historically difficult to reach immigrant sector of that population. We now enjoy an improved level of access and communication with these diverse communities, and additionally, our improved relationships and communications with the media will further our agenda of transparency with the public. We've taken an unfortunate event and used it for growth, learning, and improvement. The lessons learned have informed our protocols and become new best practices to such an extent that, once again, the men and women of the Los Angeles Police Department will lead the way in modern crowd control and management. As a department, we are committed to fulfilling all the recommendations contained in the MacArthur Park After Action Report. That commitment will be reflected in our successful policing of May 1st, 2008, and the marches and rallies that will occur on that day.